We talk a lot on this channel about what to do in the beginning of your real estate career, but in this video, I want to zoom in on some things that can really derail your growth in this industry when you're just getting started. These are the things that I've personally seen have the most detrimental effects on young professionals in commercial real estate, and some things that, if you can avoid, can help you make significantly faster progress in your career overall. So if you're still trying to find your way in this industry, or you're looking to land your first job in the business, in this video, I want to talk through 4 things you do not want to do when you're just starting out in commercial real estate, and what to do instead to get where you want to go as quickly as possible. So the first thing I want to highlight here is especially applicable to people who are already working in internships or full-time jobs in commercial real estate, and this is not asking questions when you don't understand something. Even though you can find a lot of information online today, and you might think you'll look stupid if you ask a question, if you don't end up getting clarity up front on something you're confused about, there's a very high likelihood that you'll end up making a mistake that's going to be significantly more damaging to your reputation than just asking a question. When you first start out as a real estate analyst, especially in the first 2 to 3 months on the job, the expectation is that you won't know everything that's being asked of you, and in the vast majority of cases, employers are going to want you to speak up and tell them when something isn't clear. In almost all cases, your manager would much rather make sure you fully understand an assignment or project before getting started to make sure they're getting what they're asking for, rather than having you just guess or make an assumption that might cause them to have to redo your work at the very last minute. The last thing you want to do is pretend you understand everything in the first few months in a new role, only to make a really big mistake 6 or 9 months into the job, and especially if your questions are company related around things like how the firm generates revenue, the different parts of the industry the company is involved in, or any other unfamiliar terms you're hearing over and over again on a daily basis. These are all very appropriate questions for your first few months on the job. Now, the second thing to avoid early on in your career is taking a job that's not the right fit just for the sake of getting your foot in the door. Now, I absolutely understand the desire to start your career as quickly as possible, but with the expectations at most firms that you'll spend at least about 18 to 24 months in a job, if you jump into something that you know upfront isn't going to work just for the sake of getting started, you're most likely going to end up creating even more issues for yourself down the road. We've had a lot of people join Break Into CRE Academy over the years who have been in jobs for just 3 to 6 months that they feel like they absolutely need to get out of as soon as possible. And when you're in that kind of a situation, this usually doesn't turn out well regardless of what you choose to do next. If you decide to look for a different role after just 3 to 4 months in a job, a new potential employer is going to question why you're moving on so quickly, and you're also very likely going to burn bridges permanently with the company you're leaving after such a short period of time. And if you choose to stick it out for a full 2 years, that's a really long time to be unhappy. And if you're bored at work on a day-to-day basis, you're wasting really valuable time early on in your career when you're able and willing to put in long hours towards something worthwhile. Being in a job that you don't like can also make you desperate when looking for new job opportunities, which often leads people to say yes to roles that are just slightly more tolerable than their current job, and this can also take away a lot of a candidate's negotiating leverage when trying to maximize pay. The bottom line here is to be intentional about the jobs you choose to take, and while no job is perfect and there are going to be aspects of work you don't like in any role you take on, you do want to make sure that any opportunity you're going to say yes to can somehow bring you closer to where you ultimately want to go. Now, the next thing to avoid at all costs early on in your career is staying in a job for too long just because it's comfortable. If you want to maximize your income in the first 7 to 10 years of your career, switching companies every 2 to 3 years can often allow you to make significantly more money than you would have if you just stayed put at the same company you started out with, and working for a few different shops early on can also help you get clarity on what you actually want to focus on in your 30s and your 40s. This is especially true for aspiring entrepreneurs that want to go out on their own, and in many cases, the longer you wait to do this, the less likely it actually becomes that you'll end up taking the leap. I've had way too many conversations with industry professionals in their 50s and 60s that told me really candidly that they had always wanted to start their own company, but at a certain point, life got in the way with kids and family responsibilities that made going out on their own a lot more difficult. Now, this doesn't mean that you absolutely need to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. If you're happy where you are, you work with people you like, and you see a lot of internal career growth potential ahead of you, but if you're in a job where your learning curve is flattened out, your pay is plateaued, and there's not a clear growth path for you within the company itself, it most likely makes sense to look for something new. Now, the last pitfall I want to mention in this video is something that's really easy to default to when you're young and inexperienced, and this is to only do what's in your job description and shy away from everything else. As an analyst in commercial real estate, your main job is obviously usually going to be related to analyzing real estate investments directly, but the people I've seen make the biggest strides in their careers at a very young age have taken this a step further and actually analyzed the company that they worked for to identify opportunities. And from there, these people then took the initiative to propose a new project or a new workflow to take advantage of these opportunities and then took the reins themselves to make these things happen. This could include things like introducing new ways for your firm to raise capital. This could mean sourcing deals on your own in a new market, or this could just be a process of building out models or introducing a new software to streamline operations and improve underwriting speed. One of the things I didn't realize when I was first starting out is just how different people's career trajectories tend to look within this industry, and having been involved in commercial real estate for about 13 years now, I can tell you that the people I started out with are all in very different places based on the actions that they took over the last decade. So to sum this all up, when you're new to the industry, make sure you're asking questions when something isn't clear, make sure you're being intentional about the jobs you choose to take, make sure you're moving around early on to maximize your earning potential, and make sure you aren't only doing what's included in your job description. And if you can do these things, even if they seem harder or scarier to do up front, you're going to be setting yourself up to look up in your 30s and be making a lot more money than your peers in a career path that you actually enjoy. And if you want to make sure you have the skills you'll need to take the first step in this process and land an analyst or associate role at a top commercial real estate firm, and you're ready to pass an Excel modeling exam that might be given to you during the interview process, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Break Into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Break Into CRE Analyst Certification Exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on the channel on commercial real estate careers, make sure to hit the like button and let me know. And even if you don't have direct experience in this industry yourself, let me know in the comments what you've seen your most successful friends and peers do early on in their careers that other people didn't. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.